Okay, Wuthering Waves is like 3 weeks away from launching, and I'm seeing a bunch of stuff on the internet about it's gonna fail, it's gonna succeed, it's gonna blah blah blah, it's gonna suck, whatever it is. And I'm here to set the record straight. I'm gonna give it to you guys straight, right? As someone who loves Wuthering Waves, I'm also able to not let my bias be involved in this. Okay, so Wuthering Waves will not and will never kill Genshin Impact. It's as simple as that. The only thing that can kill Genshin Impact is Genshin Impact. The game is too huge. It has a huge following of roughly 60 million players. 10 million on registration, 60 million active players worldwide. The game is huge. It launched during COVID and it was like this phenomena, and it'll never fucking happen again unless we have another world shutdown and then some other games are launched in that process. It just won't happen, right? For its time, it was absolutely game changing and fucking world breaking. Now, does that mean that Wuthering Waves will fail? Absolutely not, right? If you want to start looking at some numbers, right? Genshin had 10 million pre-registration across all platforms and regions before its launch. Wuthering Waves has currently doubled that and is still growing at 24 million pre-registrations, right? Now, you could say that a third of these pre-registrations is from Genshin, and I think that would probably be pretty accurate, right? If you have 60 million active players on Genshin, of course, this game, Wuthering Waves, being the sole competitor to Genshin Impact, you could say that a third of Genshin players are going to sign up and play for Wuthering Waves. A third of Genshin Impact players, if I had to guess, is the portion of players who were very disappointed when Hoyo came out and said, hey, our player base, our target focus is the casuals. All you sweats, we don't care. We're not making the game for you. And if I had to guess, it's those players that are coming right over here to Wuthering Waves. Do you know why? Because this is what Wuthering Waves has over Genshin. Not only does it cater to the casual player base, you could play Wuthering Waves casually, but it also has a space for the sweats. Now, there's a number of YouTubers who are like, but they're not doing any advertisement. You're fucking wrong. I'm sorry, you're dead wrong. Okay? You're taking what they did with Punishing Grey Raven and applying it to Wuthering Waves, and that's not the case. They have been advertising a ton for Wuthering Waves. In fact, I guess what that shows is that all the platforms they're advertising on, their algorithms are spot on in the case that they only show their ads to the targeted audience who are interested, right? If you're not seeing Wuthering Waves ads, chances are the algorithm doesn't think you'd be interested in it, which might be actually true. If you go and look at Genshin Impact's YouTube channel and you look at the amount of videos or advertisement they put out before launch, and then you go and compare it to Wuthering Waves YouTube channel, it's roughly the same. It's roughly the same. And you know what Kuro Games is doing? Kuro Games is literally analyzing Genshin Impact's method to success and almost copying it to a fucking T. If it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. And that's what Kuro Games is doing. And I mean, go look up the data yourself. You'll see it. Why would I play Wuthering Waves when it's an exact copy of Genshin Impact? Well, I'll tell you why. People who have been playing Genshin Impact, who have been playing it since launch, right? Almost 5 years now. And people in general, they like something new. They just like different stuff. It's a different story. It's different combat. It's overall a different game, and I think people will play it. Not to mention that that argument is complete dog shit. If you look at every game, every YouTube video, everything, it is an exact copy of something else because it works. Everything, every video game is a copy of this. Like Apex stole from Fortnite or PUBG, so on and so forth. And so what? Every game after that is just dog shit because it's copied a formula that works? No. No, that's just it's just not the case. Right? So I think Wuthering Waves is going to succeed and cater to a fan base that Genshin does not. I would also like to point out that a lot of these content creators who are making videos speaking poorly about Wuthering Waves are doing so because they know that the Genshin stans will jump on board and be like, yeah, Wuthering Waves sucks, right? Because Genshin stans, like a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, the unhealthy ones, are terrified when another gacha RPG enters the space and competes with Genshin because they don't want Genshin to catch any less popularity. They want Genshin to succeed forever until the end of time, right? Which is fine, I get it, but it's unhealthy to, actively shit on other games that are entering that space. And so I think those content creators are like, they're just kind of doing that because they know that it'll catch attention and they'll get a whole bunch of people like, yeah, do it. Which is that's just ridiculous, right? Anyway, the moral of the video is to have realistic expectations, right? Think in logic. Step outside of the actual games and the fan bases themselves and just look at the product. Look at Genshin and look at Wuthering Waves. What does Genshin do? What does Wuthering Waves do? And when you do that, you see that Wuthering Waves does something slightly different that Genshin doesn't. Does that mean Genshin is going to die and Wuthering Waves will kill it? Absolutely not. Genshin Impact is completely untouchable. And I'd like to point out, I do not hate Genshin Impact. I fucking love that game. It's great. In fact, I've thought about going back and playing the Fontaine questline all the way through because I haven't done that yet and I feel like it would be like being a new player again. But anyway, but does that mean Wuthering Waves will fail? No. I think if Wuthering Waves gets even a small percentage of success that Genshin Impact has, it is 100% a success. And I think Wuthering Waves will build this niche audience and a pretty big one that will keep the game afloat, right? So again, just have realistic expectations. Realistic expectations. And that way, I think you won't be disappointed. Also, don't think that Wuthering Waves is going to be the best game of the year. That's unrealistic expectations. Think realistically. I think it's going to be good. But that's about it. I think it's going to be fun to play for a while. And that's all there is to it. Guys, thank you for watching this video if you made it all the way through. Subscribe to the channel. I am going to be covering Wuthering Waves as best as I can. Although I'm kind of a lazy content creator, so I don't, I'm going to do my best to do all sorts of guides and everything. Subscribe, like, I'll see you in the next one.